Hello and welcome to NewCrop, powered by NASSCOM's 10,000 Startups. In our segment Guru Gyan, we speak to Aditya Dev Sood, the founder of Startup Tunnel. Startup Tunnel is an incubator that provides a fit market for all innovations of startups as well as improving their entrepreneurial abilities.
If we knew that at the front end, then we'd all be millionaires. The fact is you can't know that. You could have a sense, okay, and for example, in our last cohort, we had 550 applicants for what ended up being 8 positions. We would have taken 10 if we found a 9th and a 10th that were worth taking. And so, you know, those odds are kind of tough, right? I mean, you're looking at kind of 1 in 8 or more than that, actually, you know. It's like, a lot of guys that have a startup idea, it's actually not a very good startup idea. And so how do you know that you have a good startup idea? Well, I would say that, first of all, you'd like to filter out all of the other ideas that people have had and be well informed before you start thinking about what your startup should do. The second major hurdle is to have other people involved that will help you with this goal. Rather than having a whole bunch of other kids from college that are basically just like you, engineering kids, that's not a good startup team for a complex challenge. You'd like complementary teams that are able to handle marketing, client product development, you know, fundraising, business dimensions of things all at the same time. So a kind of complementary team is, you know, something that ends up being, you know, very powerful and potentially very successful. If they've got their dream and their team together, then it's a question of building product, and we can help with that. So what we try to look for really is the right kind of vision, well-informed, interesting new idea that this team knows something more about that the average person doesn't know about. Then we will take a chance. You know, the biggest lesson is get used to hearing no a lot, and don't let that get you down. Ping a lot. Keep learning from each interaction. Always ask, even if it's no for you, what kind of person might say yes? Where do you think I should be looking? Or do you think the strategy makes sense? So it's not really about just taking something and plugging it, but it's a dynamic, right? If in each conversation you're learning something, you're not the startup you were 30 minutes ago. So even when you hear no, this is not for me, you've gotten something out of that conversation and you have transformed and you're upskilling and you're moving dynamically, you're getting closer to yes. That I, like many young people, made the mistake of trying to figure out what I'm good at and then tried to organize my life around what I was good at. And that, my friends, is actually a lousy way to live. The thing to do is to figure out what change you want to achieve. Then figure out how to re-engineer yourself so that you're capable of bringing that change about. So that is a lesson I have learned after a lot of years of living, and I've made a change actually in the way I live my life, so that I now try to figure out what I want to do, and then I figure out how to achieve it, rather than trying to stay in what is called the comfort zone. The fundamental thing is that with a startup, there's no direct line from point A to point B. Ye aara teda katta hai, as I say, right? So this is sort of an exponential curve, and that is a learning curve. If you're still the same team as you were 6 weeks ago, that's a bad thing. It means tumhara kuch nahi hone wala hai. So you want to see that you have moved your status from a team without a product to a team with a product, with a launched product, with a product with traction and metrics and data behind it, with a couple of monetization strategies that have been attempted and data around monetization, to substantial traction, revenues, revenue positive, but not cash flow positive. That's the moment you raise. So if you are incrementally changing and moving along that curve, you can still keep having hope for the future. If you're staying the same, you will die.